what it really do, game. Welcome back to the channel. As always, I better be having a good day, man. Shit. Now with that being said, for you guys today, I have sharks. Why? Because before I started YouTube, bro, I used to be on Shark Tank. Here's a picture of me and the gang right here. And basically, I got kicked off the show because I was buying all the companies, making all the right choices. They were like, we can't have that, so I started a YouTube channel. Bro, that's how it happened. You don't know. So with that being said, this is my go-to deck for any Xyz event. This deck gets to pump out level 4 and level 5 fish monsters like it's nobody business. So a lot of the time you can end up on a very decent board. Also, it's not that expensive. Besides all the staples that you might already have, there's not a single UR in here, bro. A single UR in here that's not a staple that you might already have, right? Even in the extra deck, there might be a card or two that you might not have. But all of these, if you've been playing the game for a little while, you might have them. Because this thing right here, you could even get 2 copies or even 3 copies of this just from the regular tickets that you get from playing the game. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the content. If you do, please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe for the boy, because I would greatly appreciate it. Enough with the talking about. I got about 4 or 5 replays for you guys. Let's get into those. Alright, gang, here we are for replay number 1 of today, numero uno for you. And this replay, actually, this dude went from 0 to 100 real quick. We're playing against Branded Despia, right? So here we're going to start off by normal summoning my Lantern Shark, activating its effect. They're going to hit us with the Cucaracha, aka Maxi. And we have the Cobra the Grave for that thing. Give him the finger, negate that thing, down them digits. I don't want to see it. No vemos. Get that thing out of here. Our Lantern is going to get to pop off, which basically activates effect to special summon another level 4. We're going to activate the Life of Leech Feast and then Crystal Shark to the graveyard, activating that thing's effect so we can special summon him by lowering the attack points of the Life of Leech Fish. With both of these monsters, which are considered 2 level 5, we're going to the Nash Knight, right? And then with 2 level 4, specifically Water, we're going to the number 4, Stealth Kraken. Give me that. And that's your board, bro. Now, this board doesn't seem that crazy, but it is. This is a socket monster on the field, and this is a Papa card, specifically a monster on the field. And then you deal half of their attack as life points damage, right? So here they're going to activate the Branded Lost because they haven't found themselves, and then they're going to set down 2 cards and end their turn. Now, this is what I'm telling you. This dude right here went from 0 to 100, right? So we're going to activate the Lantern, well, normal summon the Lantern Shark. We're going to pop the Despia Tragedy in the face. They're going to activate the Branded Banishment to bring that thing back onto the field. I'm going to pop it in the face once again. Then we're going to pop our opponent in the face for the 1700, right? We're going to set down our War Mirror and end our turn. Now here we could have went into a Zeus with any one of these, but I decided to keep the board as it is because I think that this is a good board for the event anyway. So Branded Opening, we're going to send a card to the graveyard, special summon the Aluber, activate the Aluber, activate the Desperate Tragedy, right? Desperate Tragedy is going to allow them to search out another Aluber, and then Aluber is going to allow them to search out the Branded Fusion, right? Now, I don't have any negate, so we have to eat all of this, but they have the Branded Law. So they activate the Branded Fusion, sending the Blazing Cartesia and the Fallen of Alva to the graveyard, using both of these monsters to go into the Albion Branded Dragon. They're going to activate the Branded Laws, activate the Albion, which is how you're supposed to do it, if I'm not mistaken, because I can't do anything about anything that they're doing, right? Not that we have anything, but either way, they're going to use both of these monsters right here to fusion summon into the Mirror Jade. This thing is going to allow them to search out the Mercurier. Here, I'm going to activate my Nash Knight, right? They have to activate the Mirror Jade because if they don't, I'm taking that thing. So I'm going to activate the number 4 Stealth Kraken to pop that thing in the face. They are going to activate the Mercurier. And this is what I'm telling you, bro. The dude went from nothing to all of this. So then that thing gets negated. This thing gets banished. Get it out of here. I don't get to take a monster at all. They go into the battle phase. They pop my boy in the field. Now I get to bring my children onto the field because I pay child support, bro. Stealth Kraken number 1. Stealth Kraken number 2. Bring them out here. Go into main phase 2. And then their turn, they're going to activate the Trickle on the Ash Dragon. Bringing the Fallen of Albas back onto the field. Getting the Blazing Ecclesia back to the hand, right? Now here I'm going to put both of these in attack position for no reason because I'm going to use them to Xyz summon into the F-Zero Utopic Future. Use that boy to go into the number F-Zero Utopic Future Drake. Bring that thing onto the field. Then we're going to activate the Crystal so we can special summon it, lowering this thing attack. Normal summon the Bahar Sharks. I can special summon another level 4. With 2 level 4 monsters, we're going to the number 101 Silent Underdark. I get to activate that thing's effect, detach it to materials, the Mirror Jade is mine. Then we're gonna activate the Lifeless Leaf Fish, send 3 of our water monsters back into the deck, recycle that, draw me a card, draw an Ash Blossom. Activate the White Mirror, bring the Silent Angler onto the field, get another Silent Angler to the hand, activate the Silent Angler to special summon it. 2 level 4s, we go into Abyss Dweller. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And now we get a huge attack boost. I get to slap this thing in the face 1 time, slap the Fallen Revolvers 1 time, and we have way more than lethal damage in the face right here. GG's. I was actually a really fun duel for me, bro. I was having hella fun. So with that being said, let's go into the next replay. Right, again, here we are for replay numero 2. Now I've actually been enjoying this event because it's giving me a break from ladder, and I don't play competitive deck in the event. I try not to play super competitive decks in the event because I feel like it's an event, bro. Like it's a break from ladder. So anyways, we're gonna set down 2 cards right here, old style Yu-Gi-Oh, and we're gonna basically set down a Lantern Shark and a Call by the Grave because all I have this, I can't do anything with these right here. Unless I could have sent another level 4 monster to the graveyard, I couldn't do anything. So here we're playing against Sprite. So they bring the blue onto the field, and then they bring the Cap Shell to the field as well. They're going to use that thing's effect. That way they can search out a Jet, right? They're going to special summon the Jet, activate the Jet's effect, getting this over a Sprite starter so they can start taking this L because they don't know it yet. So here they're going to use both of these monsters right here to go into the 32 ounces, 32 liters gigantic Sprite. Activate that thing's effect. I'm gonna Ash Blossom that thing in the face 1 time for the 1 time. I think gets negated, and they can't really do much, right? So now they gotta slap my monster in the face right here, slap me for the 1300, and then they're gonna use this thing to go into the Downer Magician. Of course, you know Zeus is getting played all over the place in this event, rightfully so. They go into the Zeus right here. Look at that boy. Activate that thing's effect, which now that I'm thinking, why would you? Oh, okay, that makes sense. You wanted to draw a card, have to. Okay, that makes sense then. So to draw a card, they said that thing. Because I'm like, why would you wipe the field just for? I mean, you wipe the field to draw 1 card. It still has 2 materials. Doesn't matter. Kaiju that thing. Activate the White Mirror so I can special summon the Lantern onto the field. Get myself another Lantern. Normal summon the Lantern. Activate the Lantern effect so I can get the Silent Anger onto the field. Using both of these monsters right here, we're going to the number 4 Stealth Kraken. This thing is beastie, bro. Activate that thing's effect, pop it, deal half his damage as life points, slap my opponent in the face twice. And here again, I could have went into a Zeus, but this thing on the field is tough because you'll see. So here we get Raigeki, right? And this is one of the reasons why I like keeping this thing onto the field because this would have destroyed me. I don't think we could have won this if this would have happened to a Zeus, right? But because it's a Kraken, I get to bring my children out here because, again, I pay child support. Bring both of them onto the field, and this is hilarious because they bring a Nimble Beaver, right? I get to pop that thing because it's a water monster. This thing says once per turn during the main phase. Quick effect, you can destroy 1 water monster your opponent control. Hilarious. So this thing gets to, I can't negate it, but I get to pop it, right? I think get it out of here. They're gonna bring another one onto the field, and I get to pop it again because this is not once per turn. So here they activate the Sprite starter, bring the when I say it's not once per turn, it's like not once per turn per activation. So if you have 3 of these, then you could pop 3 water monsters on the field once each. You know what I mean? So here they're gonna activate the Sprite Blue, get themselves the carry. They're gonna try and be healthy and build a salad right now. I'm not having that, bro. Barbecue. So here they're gonna go into the Sky Cavalry, this thing. They're gonna go into the battle phase, slap me in the face 1 time, and now I get to bring the Kraken back onto the field. Now I get to pop that thing before they even use any of his effects. Get it out of here, dealing 1,000 life points to the face. That leaves me with 1,400 life points. I'm gonna set down my Ice Barrier, putting this thing in attack position, let my child here end my turn. Or end the game, whatever you wanna say, bro. It's GG's. It's hilarious to me that the follow-up they had was Nimble Beaver, which unfortunately was a water monster, bro. That is hilarious. So with that being said, let's go into the next replay. Alright, gang, here we are for replay numero 3 of today. And I believe this time we're going second. And if I'm not mistaken, we're going up against another branded deck, right? And this guy actually opened up with a pretty good hand. Because look at this. They're going to start off with the branded Lost. Activating the branded Fusion, right? Sending the Fallen Revolvers and basically Bell into the graveyard. They're going to use both of these monsters right here to go into the Albion, the branded Dragon. They're going to activate the branded Lost, activating this thing's effect as well. That way they could use it and the Fallen Revolvers to fusion summon into that boy, Mirror Jade. bring him out here. The Brandalos is going to allow them to search out the Mercarrier. They're going to activate the Fusion Deployment, bringing the Blazing Kersicia onto the field, activating its effect, using both of these monsters right here with itself twice to go into the Grand Guard, the Dust Dragon, right? Activating that thing's effect, sending a Bestial Serenir to the graveyard, activating that thing's effect to get a Branded Retribution, activate the Branded Retribution so they can recycle the Branded Fusion back onto the hand for next turn, right? And that's their board. Now, I also opened up with a crazy saucy hand because I'm going to kaiju that thing, get it out of here. They're going to activate its effect, but I'm going to give that thing the Call by the Grave, dial them digits, point at him, body and negate it. See you tomorrow. So now we get to cook for real because I get to activate the Crystal Shark targeting, this is the crazy thing. If your opponent has a water monster, you can special summon the thing off of your opponent's water monster, which is crazy. So we special summon that thing. They're going to activate the Dust Dragon, bringing the Desperate Coritis onto the field. I'm like, okay, bet, congratulations. I'm going to normal summon the Lantern Shark. The Bahar Shark. Special summon the Lantern Shark using both of these monsters. We're going to go into the Nash Knight, right? We're going to activate the Nash Knight effect. And here, that's going to force them to activate that thing because I'm taking it. It's just, I'm going to take that thing. So the thing activate, making all of our monsters attack 0. But I still get to take that thing because it's not in a gate. Then I'm going to use this monster right here to Exceed Summon into the CXYC Nash Knight, right? Then we're going to use that thing's effect, detaching a material so we could go into the bigger CYC Nash Knight, number 101. Activate that thing's effect so I can attach my opponent monster into myself. Activate the White Mirror, special summon another Lantern Shark, getting myself a Lantern Shark to the hand. Using both of these monsters right here, we're going to the Bahamut Shark. And honestly speaking, I'm going to speed this up, bro, because, you know, they get to play the game, but when I'm going to cook something, nobody lets me cook. That's why my name is Let Me Cook, bro. Look. I mean, yeah, I was making a Draco Berserker. Yeah, I was going to make a Zeus with like 6 materials or something, but like, come on, bro, let me play the game. So with that being said, let me show you, I have another replay, and then I'm going to show you the OTK as well. Alright, gang, here we are for the semi-last replay of the day. Now, I wanted to show you this one because in this one, I'm showing you the best board that you can make with this deck. I was doing a lot of testing, and you can make this board with the way I built the deck. You can make this board very frequently. It depends. You only need about 2 to 3 different cards or whatever, right? So you're going to activate the Lifeless Leech Fish, send up a Soul Shark to the graveyard, activate the White Mirror, and then you're going to special summon that thing onto the field, getting yourself another Soul Shark, activate this thing's effect, special summon a Lantern Shark, and with both of these monsters right here, you're going to go into the Bahamut Shark, right? You're going to activate this thing's effect, detaching a material so you can special summon the 47, which is a level 3 Xyz monster. Then we're going to go into the full armor Blackwing Lancer. And this is the great thing about doing this thing, having this thing in the hand, which is why I played at 2, is that both of these monsters, for what I need them, they don't need materials. So I get to activate this thing's effect, detach a material from each one of these, special summon it, and then I get to special summon both of those materials back onto the field, right? My 2 level 4 specifically. Then we're going to use these 2 rank 4 Xyz monsters to go into the F-Through Utopic Future. And you guys know how that goes. Give him the Draco. He got wings now, bro. Give me that. Then with these 2 level 4 monsters, we're going to go into the Abyss Dweller. And then with the other 2 level 4 monsters, we're going to go into the number 4 Stealth Kraken. Now this board, even in ladder, this will be a crazy board to play against, right? Because you have basically a graveyard shutdown that's also, look, it's gonna give us an attack boost because this thing makes all of our monsters water, even though this thing is not a water monster, right? So now this thing gets an attack boost, they all get the attack boost, I get to pop a card on the field, I get to negate a monster and take over it, and then I get to shut down the graveyard while also having an Ash Blossom. This board is nuts. So here they're going to start off by activating a Lord Darkness. So I'm going to Ash Blossom that thing. And I don't know what they're playing because it's an event. You don't know what shenanigans they're playing. I thought I was going to scoop here because people keep scooping when I make this board. But I was so happy because they activate another one. Join a card. They're going to send 1 card to the Banish Zone, right? And they're going to activate the Blackwing Whirlwind because they're playing Blackwing. So I know that Blackwings, I don't know what cards are limited or semi-limited for this event. But I know some of those cards like the graveyard. So we're going to shut that thing down. So right here they're going to normal summon the Sephiroth, which is one of those monsters that likes the graveyard. They're going to get the Gale onto the hand. They're going to special summon that thing, activating its effect, basically making this thing life points and cutting it in half. And I could have negated it and taken over this thing, but I was like, nah, let me keep the negate for something else just in case, right? So they're going to special summon 2 other level 4 Black Green monsters. And they're going to go into the Ray Raptor Force Strix. They're going to, I'm going to pop that thing before they activate its effect, dealing half of its attack as life points. They're going to stab themselves in the face. I'm guessing here they knew that they couldn't do anything else. And they were like, bro, just end it. And I'm like, okay. So here we're not going to do no BMing. We're just going to set down a trap just in case and slap our opponent in the face. So yeah, I wanted this board alone for any deck in this event could be hard to like wipe, bro. Unless you have a Kaiju or something like that. But in a gate, pop a card in the field and graveyard shutdown, yeah, GG's. Let's go into the OTK. Alright, gang, here we are for the last replay of the video. I got another replay against Castilia and one against New Pearlies. But you know, New Orleans not in the game, so I just sucked up their AC's monster and they left. It was pretty boring. So here they're gonna set down 2 cards, right? And basically, again, I'm showing you this replay to show you how I OTK the opponent, right? So here we're gonna normal summon the beautiful princess. Now, mind you, it's not in the deck list because you're not gonna see it, right? You don't need this. Basically, I took it out because it's kind of useless. So for example, if I activate this now and they have an Ash Blossom, I get nothing, right? Because this thing banishes itself to special summon it. So I just decided to play this thing at 3 instead, because let's say if I didn't have this and had this, it's the same combo. So now this thing I get to activate its effect, special summon a Lancer Shark onto the field, get the crystal so I can special summon onto the field as well. And again, we're going to use both of these monsters right here to go into the number 4 Stealth Kraken, right? Now I'm going to detach 2 materials from that thing because basically this thing doesn't need materials to be able to pop a card on the field as well. So it's a good thing to have that thing in the hand. I mean, to make this thing, if you have this thing in the hand, because its effect still goes off every time. So now I get to detach 2 materials, again, bring it back onto the field. With both of these monsters right here, we're going to the back. Muhammad Shark. Give me that. Activate that thing's effect. Special summon the number 47. Number 47 gets to become the full armored Black Metal Dragon, right? We're gonna detach 2 materials from them things because we're gonna use them to go into the F-Zero Utopic Future. You didn't need to detach anything. It's just what happens when you go into this thing. Then you're going to go into the Draco. Now here we activate the White Mirror, right? Special summon the Basalt Shark back onto the field. Getting yourself another Basalt Shark. 2 level 4s going to the Abyss Dweller. And now everything on the field is a water monster, so you all get an attack boost. Slap this thing in the face 1 time for the 1 time, and that's way more than lethal damage. So the deck can actually OTK as well, which is crazy to me, right? So with that being said, let's go into the deck list. Alright, gang, here we are for the deck list portion of the video. Now, like I said, for the main deck, it's not super expensive. Your most expensiveness comes from your extra deck, which has some cards that you might already have, like the Abyss Dweller from dealing with tears all the time. This thing you could get from the regular tickets that you get from playing the game, you know, the legacy tickets or whatever. And Sus you might already have because it's a staple as well. So I'll go over all of that. But for your main deck, it's actually pretty cheap if you're not playing staple cards like these, right? Like, look at this. 29, well, yeah, 28 out of your whole deck is just rares, non-rares, and super rares. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's not that expensive. So let's go over the deck list, right? So we basically start off with 3 Maxis, right? 3 Ash Blossoms, 2 XYZ Remora, because this thing is what's going to allow you to make way more better and decent boards than just ending up on this thing, and even in this thing and just a Nash Knight, right? So also, one thing that you have to do if you're gonna play this deck for any reason, right? Make sure that the 2 monsters you detach from this thing are level 4s, because if you detach a level 5 like any one of these, you won't be able to special summon them onto the field. So be careful with that. So that's why we run 2 of those. We run 3 Silent Anglers because it's a level 4, which is really good for 2 reasons. They get to special summon itself from the hand, but once it does, you can't special summon again from the hand. So be careful with that. This is the last monster that you should be special summoning if you're doing your combo. Then on top of that, if you have this thing in the graveyard, you can activate this thing's effect, bring it from the graveyard, get yourself another one to the hand. You got 2 level 4s because you get to special summon the other one that you brought to the hand with distance effect, right? Then you have 3 Lantern Sharks. If you normal summon this thing, you get to special summon any one of your level 4s or level 5 fishes from the hand. But Soul Shark gets to basically search out any one of your shark monsters from the deck. Lively Leech Fish is really good because what I like to do is activate this thing's effect, send this thing to the graveyard, activate this thing, bring it onto the field, and that's how you make your number 4 Stealth Kraken if you don't have anything else, right? Then also you could basically send 3 of your banish this thing, then send 3 of your fish monsters to the deck and draw a card, which is really nice. Then you have Silent Sea Nettle, which is another one that can special summon itself from the hand. Also, it could banish itself and basically return 3 of your monsters back to the deck, even your extra deck monsters. But this one doesn't get to draw your card. That's the only difference. So I play it at 2. Then you have one Abyss Shark at 3 because it can get to special summon itself as long as you have a water monster on the field. And then it's gonna search you out another water monster, which is really nice. Then Crystal Shark, again, this thing gets to special summon itself just by diminishing the attack of any water monsters on your field or on your opponent's field, which is why I played the Gamiel Sea Turtle, right? Because if I kaiju something, I get to special summon this thing on the field as well. And half the time they're gonna have the same attack. So if you need to crash for some reason and you just need this thing off of the field, then you can do that. We play one Nibiru because we're in the Xyz event. Nibiru is actually really good because you get to wipe out boards. You get to pop the token in the face when you make this thing as well, which can do a lot of damage to your opponent depending on how big the token is. So that's why this thing is here. If you want to bump that up to 2, bump it up to 2. 1 Foolish Burial Goods, again, for the same reason for this thing. I can send this thing to the graveyard. If I have a fish on the field, I get to special summon it, right? Also, you could activate this thing's effect. For example, send this thing to the graveyard, activate this thing if you have it in the hand, special summon it, get another copy, special summon it, you have 2 level 4s, right? So then we have 3 of these because this thing is some saucy crackiness. It's gonna allow you to basically, like I said before, special summon any one of your water monsters on the field, and it's gonna get you a copy of that monster onto the hand as well, which is good for follow-up reasons as well. 2 Call by the Graves, 2 Ice Barrier, just 2 Ice Barriers because this thing on the field is really nice. When they attack you, you can make their attack 0. They still have to crash into you, which is crazy, which will allow you to pop monsters when they attack you. And then this thing, if you send it to the graveyard, you can activate its effect, banish it, and that's how you search out your kaiju that way. Unfortunately, we don't have the Foolish Burial Goods, which is really good as well, because we would have been able to send this to the graveyard to search our kaiju that way, but I think that thing is limited or just banned in this event. Then we have 2 Infinite Impermanence and 1 XYZ Revive Splash. This thing is actually really good, and it's the reason why I'm making this thing, because if you have this thing in the graveyard, you could activate this thing's effect, turn this thing into this thing, and you basically get to negate special summoning, which is really nice. So then we have 1 number F-Zero Utopic Future, 1 number F-Zero Utopic Future Draco, 1 number 47 Nightmare Shark, because all of these right here are basically how you go into this thing, right? Because you're gonna special summon this thing, go into this thing, from this thing you go into this one, from this one you're gonna use both of these right here to go into this thing, and then for this thing you go into this one, right? So you need all of those if you're gonna play this thing right here. Then we play 1 Abyss Dweller because we get the attack boost. Also we get to shut down the graveyard. I just told you why you're playing this. You play 1 number 1 Solo Honor Die because this monster right here, this thing, and this thing are like a little package. You don't need to play all of them, honestly speaking, but I like to play them. So this thing right here, you get to basically, if your opponent has a special summon attack monster like the Ice Jade, you get to detach 2 materials from this and suck it up. Then also you need this thing if you're gonna play this thing, because you activate this thing's effect, attach this thing to it, suck a monster on the field, and then you go into this thing, and from this thing you can go into this thing, right? Then you got 1 number 4 Stealth Kraken. If you want to get rid of this thing and play 2 Krakens, you can do that, because it's actually really good to be able to play 2 Krakens, because sometimes this thing might get banished or something like that. You are playing against Branded a lot of the time. Then you are playing 1 Stealth Kraken, well, 2 Stealth Kraken spawn, because when this thing gets popped in the face, you bring both of these onto the field. If they have water monsters, you get to pop them. If not, if they just pop any one of these 2 right here, you get to bring this thing back onto the field and you get to pop a card on the face once again, right? I just told you why you're playing the C101 Silent Honor Dog. This thing has a good effect that at the end of the turn it's gonna get popped. It's gonna give you life points, but you get to special summon it back onto the field as well. Nash Knight again, suck a monster on the field. This thing is basically so you can use this thing to go into this thing and negate special summoning. Then this thing again is a part of the Nash Knight package, and then you got Zeus because you're playing an Xyz deck. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you did, please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe to the boy, because I would really appreciate it. Any comment, questions, and concerns in the comment section below. You know I got you, bro. I always reply. And continue having a great day. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.